All right, hey guys, I'm here to recap the UFC Noche fight card that we had. As you can see here, we made some significant profit, but not as much as I would have liked to see, and I'll explain why later. Let's just go through the card from bottom to top. The first three fights I did not watch. I was at the gym. However, I did see on Instagram Reels that Daniil Donachenko did pretty good. He had a pretty good first round KO against Rodrigo Cincinnato. I knew Cincinnato was not all that good. So we did get this pick right. I did not put a pick on this, but didn't see it. Probably was boring woman fight decision. I didn't put a pick on this either, but round 3 TKO, low level flyweights, pretty cool, I guess. I did see this fight actually. Cedric Dumas lost. He did not lose actually. He lost a reproductive organ. Yeah, we were like a minute into the fight, and then I saw this guy absolutely take the most crazy low blow type of kick from Zachary Reese. Boot Gang just fell to the floor, and he was like, I can't get up, but I do want to fight. So I mean, pretty sad to see, but hey, fuck it, man. At least it was on Boot Gang. Anybody else, I'd feel kind of bad. But Logan Paul does not get the win. He would have KO'd his ass, to be honest with you. So it is a no contest. All right, we did make. Look, this was like our money maker. Jesus Aguilar versus Luis Garul. We picked it by decision. That was a 5x. I knew Luis Garul, losing to Ozzy Osbourne was like a sign to see yeah, he's not super high level. And I don't even think Jesus Aguilar is like that high level. But hey, entertaining fight. They were just swinging, but they're flyweights, so they don't exactly knock each other out pretty easily. So easy decision, 5x. What do you make, like $50 off that? Tatiana Suarez versus Amanda Lemos. Holy shit, was this fight boring. And the fact that Tatiana Suarez was at some point betting favorite against Zhang Weili is an absolute joke. All right, Tatiana Suarez, she literally just smudged her for 2 rounds, and then the third round was somewhat competitive with, I remember, Lemos attempting a guillotine, I believe. Boring ass fight. Tatiana Suarez, I don't care what happens with the strawweight division anymore because Weili is out of the title picture. Boring fight, but we did make money off this. We picked Tatiana Suarez by money line. This was a good fight. Claudio Perez. We did not put a pick on this, but like the first round I was seeing Claudio Perez just like, oh shit, this guy can actually grapple. And I was watching it, I was like, holy shit. Silva is about to get absolutely stomped for 3 rounds, and he might even get submitted. And that was further reinforced by, the second round, where Silva was getting absolutely dominated for like 2 minutes. And then he got up, and then he just started piecing him up for the next round and a half. I could see it going either way. Actually, no, because the last round, Puelles was actually piecing him up, landing the calf kicks, body kicks, and even the head kicks. But Silva, he knocked him down like the last minute and a half, and just completely shifted that decision. I mean, I could have said it could have gone either way. I'm not sure. I wouldn't call it a robbery either way. I think Joaquim Silva, I honestly thought Joaquim Silva won just because of that knockdown, but I could see it going the other way. Entertaining scrap, did not put a pick on this. Okay. This fight was so fucking stupid. Like, I did not know how bad Jose Medino actually was. Like, he made Duskar Torodovic look like prime GSP. The way he was, like, piecing him up about to knock his ass out, and then he just sunk up a choke on him, and he tapped. Jose Medina, like where does this guy even go? Like, congratulations, the PFL has a new undefeated fighter. Absolute garbage. Alright, Santiago Luna, I was taking a shit during this, so I didn't watch it, but I hear Luna had a pretty good performance against Quang Lee. 2 knockdowns in 2 minutes. Holy crap. We didn't put a pick on it, so it doesn't matter to us. The main card, the rest of the main card, however, holy shit, this shit pissed me off. Alright. Diego Ferreira got knocked out in round 2 against Alexander Hernandez. Oh my god. Hernandez got a second fluke KO within 4 weeks. He got 2 fluke KOs. And I'm not the type to say fluke KOs happen, but this was a fluke KO. Diego Ferreira, he barely won the first round. I mean, he did, though. He won it. And then the second round came. Diego Ferreira, he was like, you could tell he was slower than he was in the Rambetsky fight and whatnot. But then he was like backing him up, and he was tagging him up with the jab and the little kicks to the body. And then Alexander Hernandez's movement, with that movement, he was able to sneak in a really hard right hand. And he knocked his ass out. Wasn't out cold, but the ref wanted it to be, I guess. And I honestly think that stoppage robbed Diego Ferreira of like at least a fight or 2 off his career, which is almost over. Alexander Hernandez, I'm going to say, if I were to matchmake, I would say Michael Chandler is an okay fight. I would say Michael Chandler is actually a good fight to put him with. So let's put Michael Chandler with him. Let's just watch Michael Chandler fucking sleep this ugly fucker out. Alright. Kelvin Gastelum versus Dustin Stoltzfus. We did get this pick right, actually. And we did pick Kelvin Gastelum by decision, which is like a 2.3x, I believe. Kelvin Gastelum, I don't even know what happened to him. I mean, like, he lost the first round to Dustin Stoltzfus in 2025. He had a close decision with Dustin Stoltzfus in 2025. Kelvin Gastelum, he is very, very, I don't know, his like finishing instincts aren't there. He was fast, and that was the only reason why he lost, or why he won, rather. Obviously, Kelvin Gastelum can take a shot, and he was taking shots way better than Dustin could. And that's what won him the fight. I mean, like, actually, by these numbers, looks like Dustin won. But he really didn't. He really didn't. Yeah, but Kelvin Gastelum, I mean, I don't even know what you do with him. I mean, he could still fight in middleweight, but the fact that he, like, missed weight up a weight class, like Brian Battle, I don't even know who you put him with. I feel like you'd put him with someone a similar level to Dustin Stoltzfus, not up the rankings, because I feel like that's a fair enough punishment for someone like him. However, we did get this right. Okay. Jared Gordon versus Rafa Garcia. I don't think I'm ever going to put money on Jared Gordon again. How do you go from beating Paddy Pimblett to losing to fucking Rafa Garcia, who lost to Vince Pichel, or rather almost got robbed by Vince Pichel? If you're bad enough to get robbed by 48-year-old Vince Pichel, I honestly don't know what to say. And the fact that Jared Gordon lost, it was really just the speed and power that Rafa Garcia had over Jared Gordon. And it was a scrap up until then. I think Jared Gordon was winning. And in the third round, he was losing. He was like, it was 1-1 going into the third, and he was losing the third round. And then Rafa Garcia like hit him with this phone booth ass combo, put his ass out. This was depressing. All right, next we have David Martinez versus Rob Font. David Martinez looked really good. He had lightning fast, kicks and jabs and whatnot, but my God, like, is the bantamweight division actually more shallow than people would have thought? He's a debutant, basically, and he beat Rob Font. And I'm going to say this right now. I would say he loses to Gene Matsumoto. Like 100%, I think he loses to Gene Matsumoto. I'd say put him against... I think Henry Cejudo's alright. That's a pretty good fight. And he'd probably win that fight too. Just because the fucking division is so shallow. As we literally saw with Rob Font. Yeah, we lost this pick. Rob Font was doing good in the boxing, and he was winning the second round. It was really looking like he was going to win, and then David Martinez just poured it on in the third round. Absolutely swung everything he had, and it worked out. And then, like, the last seconds, he was just, like, I don't know. He was getting everything that he was supposed to hit. And then, like, he was about to knock his ass out. And, like, the crowd was so loud that the ref couldn't even hear the buzzer, which was pretty interesting. But, pretty okay fight, I guess. Oh, forgot to matchmake. Rafa Garcia, I don't fucking know. Put him against, like, Mauricio Hufi or something like that. See him get knocked out. And David Martinez. Oh, right. Henry Cejudo. This fight, oh my fucking God. This actually pissed me off. Because Gene fucking Silva, he would have won this. Okay, so first of all, the first round it looked like a 10-8 the way he was getting absolutely dominated on the ground. I would say it was a 10-9, maybe 10-8. But it was literally because Gene Silva was getting comfortable, went for a spinning attack, and then Diego Lopez took him down in the same way that Alexa Grasso did, right? Against Shevchenko. So Diego Lopez gets in a mount, hits him with those elbows, cuts him up, almost finishes Gene Silva. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. That might have taken a little bit of steam out of Gene Silva, but I think a Gene Silva who has like a little tired Gene Silva is still better than Diego Lopez. And he was in the second round. Gene Silva was like, he was hitting that front kick to the face. He was hitting good jabs. He was going for these like nasty spinning elbows. And he was really finding his rhythm. He was hitting him like with the right hands. And then out of fucking nowhere, Gene Silva starts to back him up, and he gets like really comfortable with his hands. And then across the fence, he tries to follow Diego Lopez and eats a damn spinning elbow. That was like absolutely like disgusting to see what happened. Because the fact that Gene Silva was levels ahead of Diego Lopez and he still got fluke KO'd because of his fucking autism. Like, that's literally Gene Silva's only weakness. It's his fucking autism. And it's true, because that's his worst weaknesses in every fight. He literally just has like this case of like mental retardation to where he will make himself worse in a fight. And in this case, Diego Lopez is so powerful that he just put him out. Whatever. Diego Lopez, I I would say put him with Movsar Evloev. I don't even know who to pick in that fight because Movsar, he hasn't fought in a long time, and Diego, I could just see him fluke KOing him. Gene Silva, I don't think he should fight down. I still stand by the fact that he will be a future champion, and he is more championship level than Diego Lopez 1,000%. I just think he needs to get over his fucking retardation. Okay. Yeah, let's just say Gene Silva versus someone like Arnold Allen, or what's his name, Yair Rodriguez, and then after that he can fight the loser of Lerone Murphy versus Volkanovski, and I'm gonna say Volkanovski wins that fight. Just off principle of the fact that he beat Diego Lopez. I mean, just how good is Volkanovski? Anyways, yeah, Gene Silva, I think he would be in a pretty good title eliminator against, what's his name? Lerone Murphy. And we can see him actually fight at a championship level. And see, I mean, I hope that, first of all, he recovers and takes a pretty long layoff. But I also hope that Gene Silva, I hope he gets over his autism, because that was his fucking joke. But Mexico went, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. And last time, France went 5-0, so pretty interesting what happened. I don't think that's happening in New Zealand, I'm sorry. But, I mean, we'll see. See you guys in a couple days. I'm going to make a predictions video for this.